Army. Gonzalo V. Hernandez, Army. Feliciano Garcia Jr., Army. Armando Garza Jr., Army. Narciso Pulido III, Marines. Juan T. Johnson, Air Force. Hector Sanchez, Army. Salvador G. Johnson, Army. Euladio Hernandez, Army. Rodolfo Garcia Jr., Army. Alan Chapa, Marines. Ignacio V. Hernandez, Marines. Rene C. Perez, Army. Jesus T. Navarro, Army. Noe Perez Sr., Army. Pablo G. Johnson, Army. Eugenio V. Hernandez, Navy. Daniel Carrasco, Army. Salvador Johnson Jr., Army. Omar Martinez, Army. Luis G. Martinez, Army. Homero Martinez, Army. Abelino Sauceda Jr., Air Force. Hector Carrasco, Air Force. Rene R. Ramirez, Army. Corando G. Montemayor Sr., Army. Cesario Osuna, Marines. Francisco Carrasco Jr., Air Force. David G. Lopez, Army. Manuel Martin Alanis Jr., Army. Andre Jose Barrera, Coast Guard. Arthur R. Howard, Army. Corando Montemayor Jr., Marines. Jose Barrera, Air Force. Belisario B.J. Sainz, Army. Rick Montemayor, Army. Rene R. Guerra, Army. Luis S. Sainz, Army. Lionel Sainz, Army. Severo Salinas Jr., Army. Andres B. Hernandez, Navy. Eduardo G. Alanis, Army. Mark Anthony Cisneros, Army. Longino O. Gonzalez, Army. Jesus G. Garcia, Army. Arnoldo Mendiola Vera, Army. Oscar Morales, Army. Jose R. Trejo, Army. Abelardo Gonzalez, Air Force. Kermit O. Gilbert, Army. Joel Perez, Marines. Regino Longoria Jr., Air Force. Raul G. Sainz, Army. Noel Cantu, Army. Jeffrey Mayan Jr., Army. Mario Arellano, Marines. Ricardo Gonzalez Jr., Air Force. Malcolm E. Buterball, Navy. Oscar G. Sanchez, Army. Isaias R. Liena, Army. William Heath, Navy. Hector C. Lesio, Army. Ricardo Rick Rubio, Air Force. And Juan Osuna, Army. And that concludes my list. But now Mr. Hinojosa will do his list.
Good afternoon. I will continue with the list, and I just wanted to take a brief moment to say thank you to everyone and the community support behind this dedication of the wall. I've seen the hard work that everyone's put behind it, and every one of you have helped create this event and build that wall. You know, it's very important that we have something to go to and see and pay respects to everyone that has sacrificed so much. Santos Canales, Air Force. Ruben Rios, Air Force. Erasmo E. Polido, Air Force. Homer A. Brown Jr., Army. Robert C. Gonzalez, Army. Norman W. Earls, Navy. Porfirio L. Perez, Army. John P. Friedson, Navy. Valdemar Robledo, Jr., Army. Raúl B. de los Santos, Army. Leopoldo Herrera, Army. Ramon Roberto Johnson, Navy. Juan N. Canales, Army. Narciso Pulido, Jr., Army. Jorge L. Salinas, Army. Lino R. Vera, Army. Santos Q. Palacios, Army. Jack Storm, Navy. Roel Mario Johnson, Army. Agapito Ramirez, Army. Saúl O. de los Santos, Air Force. Miguel Perez Jr., Navy. Jose Leonel Ramirez, Army. Lorenzo Sanchez, Army. David D. Simonson, Air Force. Elias Arredondo, Air Force. Herberto Varela Jr., Air Force. Raúl Rios Jr., Army. Ricardo Rios, Army. Felicitos Garza Jr., Army. Ramon Jimenez Jr., Air Force. Antonio Chapa, Army. Jose Omar Sosa Jr., Army. Casimiro Adrian, Army. Richard B. Waterhouse, Army. Tomas F. Kelso, Marines. Emiliano Galindo Jr., Air Force. William W. Spear Jr., Navy. Faustino Perez Jr., Air Force. Ruben Garcia, Air Force. Billy F. Wilson, Army. Willie O. Raglan, Army. Ramon Arturo Salinas, Navy. William L. Langen, Army. Wilbur V. Eishen Jr., Navy. Rodolfo M. Oduna, Army. Alejandro Sáenz, Army. Alan Escobar, Army. Reinaldo Montemayor, Sr., Marines. Romualdo Chico Hinojosa, Army. Raúl N. Hinojosa, Army. Russell M. Spear, Army. Reinaldo Montemayor Jr., Army. Jerry LaRue, Air Force. Pedro Perez, Army. Ruben G. Alanis, Army. Ramiro Trevino, Army. Robert E. Garcia, Army. Enrique P. Amaya, Marines. Manuel Felix Varela, Navy. Ben Adam Jr., Army. Luis Rene Quintanilla, Army. Hector Barrera, Army. Gustavo E. Garza, Army. Rafael Loy Cabrera, Army. And Jimmy Ramirez, Army, Navy. That concludes my list.